Welcome to Friday Night, Greg. Hey, first up, before we get going with the episode, I want to shoot a special thanks to all my Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. If you're not subscribing, you're missing out, dude. People are talking about you behind your back. A lot of great episodes. And to that point, Thursday, the 29th, 8 p.m., that is the live episode. I've got 3 things planned. And I have 3 things planned because I sometimes things don't work out. But I'm pretty sure there may be a very live performance from a new band you may have heard of called The Cream Supreme. They might be showing up. They might be doing a live performance. I don't know if we can get them. If not, it'll be this other thing I have planned, but we'll see. So thank you so much. And without further ado, I bring you today's Friday Night Greg with guest Sarah Tollemache. Suck my dick.
Pick up your head, pick up your body, get on the bus, it's time to party. It's Gregory. It is a Friday Night Gregory. Take your socks off and take your pants on. Get in the car and drive.
Oh, good. Shit, we already fucked it up.
Oh, no.
Welcome to Friday Night Greg. My name is Greg Stone. I'm here with Sarah Tollemache. Whip it up.
Worcestershire sauce.
I'm going to try to look at you.
Hi.
I don't know what.
I know. I'm like just right behind you, like I'm your co-pilot.
Do we? I know. Like, yeah. So I'm very in
Keep
depth.
flying.
Give us the navigation. I am. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
This is fun. I'm happy. I just said I've booked a ton of people and they just all bail.
Do they? I know. It's really. It is true. If you just show up, that is the key to success.
Yeah. And I texted you last night. I went, no way.
Yeah.
And I went, Sarah, any chance you want to come? And you just sent me the
Well,
dog.
I live 20 minutes away,
Mhm.
and I don't have anything planned for today.
Right.
Yeah.
A person who canceled lives also 20 minutes away. I would say 5.
I say name them. Name them and shame them. That's the name of this podcast.
I can't name them or shame them because there's someone that we both love.
Am I married to them?
Yes. No, he rescheduled a while ago and it was fine, and I forgot to rebook him. But
No, we just got back last night.
yeah, did you? Where you to? Well, I don't even know there was a comedy festival. Where'd you go?
It seems like it's called the Nantucket Comedy Fest, but it's not like you ever showcase for it. And I got in by Joe, like all my jobs is
great
through Joe, and
Yeah.
it's just a comedy fest. Kind of because it's like an island that nobody can come to because it's hard to get to. And so
Yeah.
they try to create arts for rich people. And it also raises money for a charity that I didn't do any research on, but it's for kids. Stand Up and Learn. I think it's like a stand-up course
It raises charity for stand-up comedy.
for kids to learn
To stand-up comedy. This is not a good thing to raise money for. It's like to
But
give them our
they're
sickness
so
and
rich
get them out of there.
that they can pursue their dreams.
Right.
Yeah.
And their daddy can get them a showcase.
Oh, easily. We were like,
somewhere.
there was one kid that got to go on. He was a high schooler, and I didn't get to see him, but from what I gather, like he was good,
Mhm.
you know, and he wrote about his high school life, and we were like, he is fine. We'll be opening for him within a year because he's like probably friends with Lorne Michaels.
That's every time you see someone and you're like, man, they're not funny. Is it me?
I always do a family tree
If
search.
you do a little research,
Yes.
a little, it's like, oh, this guy won $1 million. This guy's family, this is Les Moonvest's kid. You know, it's like some shit. It's
Yes.
always that. Or they're psychopaths who have no problem
Or
walking
like,
into a place.
how did they get verified with 1,000 followers?
This I don't know.
This is just like, I just submitted for SNL,
Uh-huh.
and they give you that general email,
Uh-huh.
and then when I talk to other people on the show, it'll be like, oh, I don't know, I just got it from my
Right.
audition, my showcase that I did at, and I was like, I did that too.
Yeah.
And then you're like, are they really reading all of our packets? Like, are they really discovering like a 57-year-old woman from the Midwest who could be a sketch writer virtuoso?
Yeah.
No,
No.
they're not. So why are we wasting our time with this stuff?
That's the thing. And the sad part is that whenever you do submit, you just go, oh, I guess that stuff isn't good enough.
Yes, or gaslighted by our managers that we're not working hard enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they do that shit, and then you go like, and then you just look at SNL and you go, well, how come their sketches aren't that good? It's like, well, one, they never read anything.
Yeah.
And two, it sucks. It's just like, it is what it is, but that's okay.
I'm not upset about how anyone gets anything because this business is full of shit anyway, but I am upset about that we get told that we're not working hard enough. It's the gaslighting I don't care for.
I have a notebook of times because I have a bad memory and I just trust everyone. So what I started doing is being like, you need to be scientific about this, Greg. Whenever someone gives you something like this, write it down and then like look later.
Yeah.
I have things that someone in my life, in the business life of me has said to me that I went, don't yell at her, write it down.
Yeah.
Him, them.
Yeah.
And I wrote it down and then I went, oh no, this was bullshit. Like there are, I can't want to get too into it. I'm trying not to, but it's like,
we're getting political.
Things that are like, you didn't get that to me on time. And I went, I'm pretty sure I did. Write it down. I write it down. And then later I was asked to do something and then they were like, you didn't get to me on time. And then I looked and I went, she said this multiple times. And I know this time I got it to him on time. So this is just an excuse they go to.
It's receipts.
Right.
With what you're keeping.
It's yes. For my accountant of spite. My spite accountant and anger.
Spite accountant. We all need spite accountants. I love it so much. Yeah.
Keep tabs on people who've hurt you and make you mad. It's like, oh no, we're friends.
I'm gonna get my accountant on this and show you the books.
Yeah. And it's like, hey, I just got a new show. It's a sketch show. I can cast all my friends. Everyone send me something. And then I see their names. I go, let me just check the books on this. Oh, we were going to have you, but in 1997, you said the shirt didn't fit right.
Yeah.
So sorry. So sorry.
That sucks.
It gets me. Anthony told me this a while ago. And this is like the best advice I ever got in comedy. Someone essentially had told, I was auditioning for the comic strip. I can say that because I think they're closing.
Yeah. But I think they're reopened. It doesn't make any sense. They're like, oh no, that was a lawsuit. I won the lawsuit and we're back.
So I think
it doesn't even matter. I don't even get a veil. So I just like paying attention.
There's 5 people who work that club.
Yeah.
And anyway, the bookers, the owners died. And now I think the wives are fighting over something.
Yeah, that's what I'm gathering.
Something like that. But anyway, the booker, and I actually like this guy now. Anyway, the booker at the time, I crushed.
Yes.
And he goes, I got a million white guys. And this is pre.
Don't you appreciate that though?
Yeah.
We love you, but I just already have like
he goes
20 other guys that I need to get in rotation way before you.
That's not what he said. And this is pre-diversity?
Yeah.
He goes, I got 100 white guys. They look just like you. Get famous and come back. Or, you could just wait.
Go somewhere else.
Maybe some of them will die.
Yeah.
Like and I was like.
And they will.
Right.
Yeah.
I went, and a few of them did. A few of them are dead. And it's like so I went home and I told Anthony, and I was like fucking furious. I was like, Dad, Jesus Christ, man. Like, these people just tell me they don't need me because I'm white. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And he goes, that's not an excuse. You can't take that excuse. And he was like, if you take that excuse, it gives you a reason to quit. It gives you a reason to stop working hard. So he's like, you can ignore that and just say, I wasn't good enough and work harder.
Yeah.
A year later, I went back. And a year or 2 years later, I went back and auditioned again and like was way better as a comedian.
Undeniable.
And destroyed. And they were like, yeah, of course, come work.
Yeah.
And I went, so even that guy who was saying that was his excuse was to be racist. His excuse for you're not funny enough is like,
true.
You're a white guy, whatever. But if I had just taken that advice and just, I can sit there and not get better, or you can be so good that they go, yeah, man, there's nothing we can do. I hate that you're white. I hate that you're black, but I have to work you. You know what I mean? Like that's the path. That's the path that works.
This would be the best choice for my business.
Right.
See, I'd rather take plan A as, well, that's fucked up that they just told me that. So what's the point of working?
sit in the back of my car
and stew
and cry.
Yeah.
Why were we talking about? There was something I wanted to. We were talking about Nantucket.
Nantucket, the charity, and then we got into stand up and learn and why, and then we were like, because they're rich and so they have the ability to pursue dreams.
So this is what I thought about this in the shower today, and this is about so like all these jujitsu guys they're always like train hard, study hard, work, and then I go, yeah, or I could just get a gun
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Gun beats jujitsu immediately.
Yeah.
And that analogy, I think, is equal to just being hot in comedy. You know, it's like work hard, write great jokes, or get a tit job.
I know. Do you know how hard it is to work on your body, though?
It is. I mean, yes.
I was just thinking about.
Yes, actually, I do.
I was just thinking. If I do like a cheat day, I automatically gain 10 pounds and not in the right areas. It's all to the stomach.
That's the thing, though, right? And if I'm going too fast, slow me down.
Oh, yeah, you're
but
fine.
The point, I do believe that's why hot people that hot usually aren't good at two things, because they have to go to the gym. They have to work that hard. And that's why I'm not in shape, because instead of going to the gym, I'm trying to write jokes and trying to be funny.
Do a podcast, you're learning all your tech stuff.
Yeah, you can't do that many things in life. But if you're that hot, you're not hot enough to be a model. So you just go to the other job where you stand out.
Yes.
Which is comedy. And now you're great.
Yes.
You know, and if you're a model, if you're an actor and you're the hottest guy in the world and you're just funny, you become the greatest actor. Because it's like you can be medium in another game. Does that make sense?
I know, I totally get, because there is a science behind attractive people will always be more successful than unattractive people.
I agree, but I think what I'm trying to say to that is, if you're not good enough to win in your profession, just bring that to, like, if you're one of the best comedians ever, and you get kicked out of the business, and then you go be a car salesman, you're gonna be the greatest car salesman of all time.
Because you're the funniest car salesman.
Because you're the funniest car salesman, right?
Like you could go be a chef, although that's a lot, but you could be the funniest chef and get your own TV show. And then people will be like, he's so funny.
Yeah.
He's funnier than any other comic I've seen. And you're like, no, I'm just like, he's just funny for a chef.
And then every chef goes, that guy's a horrible cook.
He's
not that good.
That happens in the chef world.
Of course. It happens in the comedy world.
Yeah.
How many pretty funny, like, there are comedians who are rated as funny that are very attractive, and I go, they're not that funny, but they are funny enough.
Yes. So they have like the whole package.
The whole package.
Well, like, I've been cooking with Allison Roman, and I love
cooking. Sorry.
Dane cooking.
Sorry.
Oh, I love that. I've been Dane cooking
How's
with
he not done
Allison
that one
Roman.
series?
I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. And I like her stuff, but when I make her stuff, I'm like, is this way better than...
Who's Allison Cook?
Roman was the one that got
Roman.
canceled last summer for saying disparaging remarks about Chrissy Teigen and Marie Kondo, who happened to be also millionaires in their industry. And people were like, that's racist. But she was just like, I'm not doing what they're doing. I don't want to sell shit at Walmart. I want to be like Sur La Top. Kind of like that was in the realm. And she also gets shit for kind of like cooking ethnic food, but kind of whitening it up.
Can we take a quick aside?
Yeah, a quick aside.
Do that. I'm so sorry. I hate when people do shit when they go, like, because my man does it. There's this Asian cook guy who he does, like, that's what you should be doing. American food. That's how food evolves.
Yeah.
Okay. Raviolis, pierogies. It's all the same shit. Okay. That's what evolution is. You make shit and you make it your own and you're whitening it up. It's like, fuck out of here with that. It's called creating your own voice. You don't want the original stuff to die.
Yeah.
No, I get that. But also create new, cool. Dude, I went to a Chinese restaurant once that said, fuck it, we're doing tacos. And they put Chinese food on tacos, and it was amazing.
Like a fried wonton taco?
What I'm going to tell you is going to sound disgusting, and I will say this very specific one was disgusting, but everything else they did.
But you appreciated it.
They put General Tso's and rice on, like, it was like on a soft taco shell, and it was like...
I could get into that.
Yeah, and it was good, but then, like, they weren't... See, the thing is, they weren't like, hey, we're this fusion. There was just some crazy guy, some shit place went, yeah, fuck it, we'll do tacos too.
Yeah.
But I was like, the idea here is great.
Yeah.
But
why not?
You're not good enough at being a cook to do this, to pull this off. Yeah. But I love all of that. I think that all a culture is about evolving things.
Well, I don't mind because at least she condensed it to one grocery store that I have to go to. Because a lot of times there's this dish that I really want to make called rendang. And I read the ingredients and I'm like, I have to go to 4 different grocery stores to get all this stuff.
What's in rendang?
Oh my God, it's like the best thing ever. It's It's like one of the number one dishes in the world. It's Malaysian, from what I gather, and it's a type of curry, but it's reduced and cooked in coconut milk, and it's beef, and it tastes great with coconut rice.
That sounds good.
Anyone has a chance to get it, I would say definitely get it.
And you want to make it? I
want to make it, yeah, because it's so delicious.
So you're doing the videos with this girl?
I don't do videos with her. I just watch her videos, and then I cook
what she does.
Yes.
And you film it?
I don't film anything.
Oh, I thought you and this girl were friends.
No.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that sad?
I was going to promote it. No, but we feel like we're friends. I feel like we're friends.
I'd like to do, but how many comics have a cooking show?
I had one for a few days.
Yeah, for a few days.
I think everyone had one.
I think we all go. You're like, I'll do it differently and better.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you how I did mine. Mine was, it was during COVID. I wanted my dad to make, I don't know how to make, I'm not a good cook.
Yeah.
My dad is a crazy good Italian cook. So I was like, I just want to record his recipes so I have them. And I was like, and I can't live in a life where I'm not doing content. You know what I mean? So I'm like, so I got to put this online.
We have to.
Yeah. And my dad is so ridiculous that I'm like, oh, he's just so funny. And this is something for us to do that isn't like,
yeah,
I don't have to sit and look at him. You know, like we can just do this. And this is our like distraction thing. Because I can't cook. I am a good cook when I cook things.
Yes.
But I never want to cook because there's too much other things to do.
It's time consuming, and then you have to do the dishes afterwards.
Yeah.
And then sometimes after I make it, I'm just not in the mood to eat it anymore. Do you ever have that? You're like, I'd rather just order takeout right now.
That's so funny. I'm already bored of this.
Yeah.
I saw how it was made. Not that exciting.
Or you have to eat it all week.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can't eat another bean. I can't bring myself to eat more beans.
That's why we do things like I can eat meatballs all week.
Yeah.
So I'll make 100 meatballs and be good. But if I make...
Is that so funny that you make 100 meatballs?
Dude, I make meatballs and eat them cold off a fork like it's an ice pop.
Yeah.
Like I lick the meat, like I love meatballs.
Yeah.
But if I do something like, well, Tita does something. You know, she'll make like some old bullshit.
Yeah, some old
bullshit. Some old time, like, ugh, and I don't want to eat that again. She's like, oh, I made veggie lasagna, and I'm like, ugh, no, I can't have another bite.
Yeah,
and I'm 1 bite in. I'm only 1 bite in.
I can do maybe 2 days of the same meal.
Yeah.
I made a bean curry from the Allison Roman, and I put turmeric in it, and by the 3rd day it went a horrific green color. And I was like, I don't know if this is actually, it was her signature dish.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I didn't think it was that good.
Yeah, probably not. It was green, you said.
It was horrific in color. It was so bad.
Oh,
it was good the first day, but then by the 2nd or 3rd day, I was like, this is not what I want to eat. But then I have to commit to it because I put so much time and effort into it.
Did you ever, I want to talk about this. What's the worst sex you ever had in your life? Sorry to bring this up, but I have a story.
Yeah,
so I'll do your story and then we'll do mine.
Honestly.
Do you know any? Do you remember the worst?
I do. Well, it's a particular style. And it's not great.
What's the style?
Like a jackrabbit, where you're like, they're basically just using your body to masturbate.
Oh, right. That's like my move. That's like my whole thing.
You're like not even part of anything.
Yeah, I don't even care whose head is on that thing.
Yeah.
I came here. I'm not here to taste the flavors.
Yeah.
I got a job. Well, that happens I think that happens a lot in relationships, long relationships, where you just kind of go like, you want to do sex? All right, sex. And then you go whatever. And then you have to remember to love that person.
But I prefer that kind.
You prefer masturbating sex? I
no. I meant like marriage sex.
Right.
I think lovemaking lasts too long.
Yeah.
I'm like, want 15 minutes and that's it.
But you can make love in 15 minutes.
Yeah, in 15
You just got to talk faster.
Yeah.
God, I love you. This smells so good, man. It's a great time being here.
I'm talking like beginning to end when you're like, close on to close it back on again.
I would say conception of idea to clean up for me, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
The idea of want to have sex to we're in bed asleep, 15:03.
Yeah.
I want to be done.
Yes. Because when you're dating, you're like, it's fun, but at the same time, you're like, I've got shit to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the worst? Do you have you don't have any like times where you're just like, oh man, that was. I'll tell you. Maybe I'll spark one.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it's just like, it's not like very memorable, but it probably like anytime like drunk sex, I think is
Right.
bad. I think about, and probably bad for them.
Right.
And then I think there was one time where there was one guy that was like way smaller than I anticipated. And it
Oh.
was just like,
Oh, his penis.
yes.
I think you meant the body.
Yeah.
Like he took his pants off. You're like, you're only 5'2".
You're tiny.
He was wearing some kind of big old boot.
Yeah. Like some moon boots. Yeah. No, I don't.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
I think that's probably what I'm talking about.
I had this girl, and this memory came to me today. I used to have sex with a lot of Hooters girls because
Yeah.
I worked at TGI Fridays, and the
Yeah.
worlds would
They
we would-
collide.
we'd collide. We would drink with them. They would drink with us. And this one I had,
I'm just thinking of all the babies created from
yeah,
TGIF waiters to Hooters babies.
but it was great because the Hooters girls were much more attractive than we were.
Yeah, absolutely.
But because we were the restaurant, that's what got us into the party.
Yeah.
So then they were like, "Hey, look, we'll figure that out." But I like you as a dude. That's how you got in. Whereas
Yeah.
those girls would never bang a customer.
Yeah. And also, whenever I remember waiting tables I did for years, and then you would form a crush on somebody because they were in their waiter uniform. And then when you see them out of their waiter uniform, you're like, oh no.
Put those stripes and flare back on, buddy.
Your bedazzled jean pockets. No.
That was the big Hooters thing, is that
Yeah.
they'd have the Hooters outfits, and then you'd be like, she's hot, and then you'd be like, oh, you're a meth head. Not
Yeah.
like your body isn't meth head, but your clothes are meth head.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Because it's a uniform, so it kind of looks like they have their shit together.
But they don't.
They don't.
No,
Because they're waiters.
Yes.
Yes. And hot waiters.
They have yes.
Yes.
And they're wild. And that's kind of what this girl was.
Yes.
We were all at this like Hooters Fridays party, and we were like hitting it off, and she was cool. She was kind of cool. We get back to my place, and we start to go at it. And first of all, she smelled and tasted like cigarettes.
Of course.
The whole thing was cigarettes, inside and out. And like her mouth was even worse than her body.
I was a smoker
Mhm.
back in my drinking days, and I want to make amends to anybody I ever made out to during the smoking years.
But I mean, it's okay. So
I guess at the time.
that's the thing. It's okay. Also, at the time, smoking was allowed in restaurants.
Yeah.
So she was like, she covered in like the smoke of people who were smoking at the Hooters.
Okay.
And like, just put some put some mouthwash in.
Yeah.
Go
Freshen up a little bit.
Yeah. Go
Yeah.
into the bath. I had taken a shower. I was like, I'll take a shower. It's like, you just go in the bathroom and take a wet nap and cover
Yeah.
your face, We start to go at it. Have you seen this? So this is the only time in my life that I had sex with someone and stopped in the middle.
Okay.
And I went, this isn't working, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
went,
yeah.
Why don't we should just go. We start going at it, and she's just laying there. Now, I've been with people who just lay there.
I've heard about this, and I find it so fascinating.
So yeah, I've been with people who just lay there before, and I'm like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But she was just laying there and then went like this. Just stuck her tongue out and went, ugh. And I went, are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I'm okay. And I was like, do you want to stop?
yeah.
And she was like, no, we don't have to. And I went, well,
We don't
now
have to.
we have to. We have to stop.
That's hot. We
So-
don't have to.
Yeah.
No, just keep going. I'm fine.
That's
I'm fine.
No, this is great. This
It's
is
too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too late.
I know. It's just like you're like, no, I have to stop now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have to stop, and I don't want to say I'm not saying it was rape,
Of course.
but no one consented to that. Okay, I did not consent to this dead.
Yeah. You're like,
This.
yeah, this is not ideal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
I know what
hurting
you
my
mean. Yeah.
feelings,
Yeah.
So anyway, we whatever, and I was just like, it's okay. I felt like weird, and I felt like she wasn't into it, so I was like, let's just stop, right? I find out like a year later we're talking. Turns out what turns her on is having sex. She likes to pretend she's a dead body.
She could have given you a heads up.
That's exactly what. If you would have told me that,
It sounds like she's full of shit and just kind of knows that was going around, that she just lays there and she's like, that's kind of my thing. I invented that.
I want to give you 70%
Okay.
possibility, but the 30% that throws me is that she stuck her tongue out and went, like Jabba the Hutt when he choked to death. She went, "Ugh," like she had just died. And I went, that's why I went, what are we doing? What are you doing? And I didn't make any sense. And then she gets turned on by pretending she was dead. And I was like, If you would have told me that,
Yeah.
I'd have been like, you dead bitch. Oh,
Yeah.
let's do it. Oh, yeah.
I guess, how old
where's
were
the bullet
you?
wounds? 23, 24-ish.
It's probably like something weird to bring up at that age.
Okay.
Right?
So
I just met you.
let me say this.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
If we are bringing that up before we had sex.
Yeah.
But if we're in the middle of sex and you stick your tongue out, go, "Bleh," and then I go, hey, man, are you okay?
Yeah.
Perfect setup to be like,
I'm kind of into, I was pretending I was dead, and it kind of turns me on that you found me dead. And
also, I was fucking her around, surrounded with action figures. We're in the perfect position to talk about our weird things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, cool, I'm a little boy on the inside. Can a little boy fuck a dead body? You know? Oh, look what I found, Mom. Look what I found at the river.
I'm going to try that. Yeah.
You know?
Let me see if it's alive.
Yeah, I poke you with a stick before we get going. I think that was the worst sex I ever had.
That sounds like it. Yeah, because you guys lacked the communication.
We lacked communication.
And how can you when you're 23 and you're just a TGI waiter and she's a Hooters waiter?
Well, also at the
and
time.
kind of maybe strangers a little bit?
Well, no, we were actually. We knew each other kind of well.
Partied, yeah.
Because we partied together, we hung, we were like always fun, we were laughing, and it was like kind of like we were like the last people at the party, and it was like, should we?
Yeah.
And she was like,
why not?
Maybe we should. We've only ever laughed.
Yeah,
Maybe we should go do this. And then she died, and then came back to life.
I want to know. I wonder now if she has like backstory of how she died.
That's
how you have to discover the body, because that's like
I would have loved
seems
it.
like fun.
That's so much fun.
Yeah.
But if you told me, you know what I mean? I would have like given the sign of the cross, like in the name of the Father, the Son, go on to heaven.
I generally think most guys seem up for whatever.
Everything.
Yeah.
And if it's story based, I'm so much more into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're just like, I like anal, it's like, great, we could do that.
Yeah, great.
But if you're like, I want to be
the only way to survive this is through anal.
Yes. Yes.
We're in the jungle. And
we're locked in a dungeon, but they shoved the key in my butthole.
Yeah.
Your hands are tied. You need to get it out. There's only one thing big enough to retrieve it. You know, it's like, that's fun.
Yeah.
I would do that.
There's a mission, and then you can high five each other afterwards and then go to the next escape room.
Yes.
The next sexual. What is that going to be? Porn? Sexual escape rooms?
Mike, are you there?
Get on this.
Can you look up, are there sexual porn escape rooms? We should thank you. We should open up a warehouse that every room is a different sexual experience.
Yeah.
Because I've got ones that I just want to see if anyone goes in there. Like a Tetris room, right? Where you play the music, din, 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 and then you have to try to do the sexual positions to lock yourself in. You know, like,
to explode the different blocks,
the things.
right?
Okay, 69, 2, upper here. And it's like you do those moves, and you could be playing against another.
You have 30 seconds.
You have 30 seconds to do the moves, and you're playing against another team in another room.
Yeah, and
$1,000 prize.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm always about. That I'm always about is that, like, how can you make sex? Yes, keep it sexy.
Yeah,
but make it fun too.
Yeah,
bring the fun into the game.
An end game. A goal at the end.
A goal, points, a series of points.
That
would be huge. If you can, because my thing at the end, whenever I have sex with Tita or whoever,
you're like, now
why
what?
did I say that like that? Tita, like, I don't want you to know who I'm having sex with. I'm married. I'm always like, how was that? Was that okay? Was that how? And she's always like, good. I'm like, I wish you'd give me a score.
Yeah.
Give me a score at the end, because I want to beat last time's score. You know, we can range it with time and pleasure, moves, speed.
I'm part of I have a jogging app that always is like, today was your 96th best workout.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should make this app for sex.
Yeah.
You know, it can work with the Apple Watch. You can go with her pulse.
Yeah.
Like if her pulse is going up and down, then you know your score.
And if it's a dead body kind of fantasy, you need to get her pulse down to the lowest rate possible. She's going to have to do like Wim Hof breathing.
Yeah, that'd be a plug-in for the app. We'd have to get you'd have to pay for the extra. Like, you know, it's like the Prime memberships.
Yeah,
can do the dead.
The free one has commercials for stuff that you're like, who's buying shit from these ad sales?
Why is this sex app showing me a pledge ad? It's like, I don't know, man. Know the role.
Apparently, there's one in Brooklyn.
Really? What's it
course.
called? Is there any information you give me on this? Escape room Kamnata Quest. Mike, what does it say? I don't have my contacts in. What do you got? You got any info here?
Why do we call our private?
The reviews
Escape
for it
rooms adventure.
say that it's a very sexual themed thing, but I don't know how I'm taking show on here.
Whoa!
Offers for large groups.
Hey, call Joe. I'll call Doug, my landlord.
It's a team building exercise.
This
Dr. Frankenstein.
The Apple Store needs to take their employees. Joker's Cafe.
That's
What's
something
that?
up your alley.
Yeah, it seems Joker is up to his old tricks. His old tricks, I guess, are sex.
Yeah.
Has opened up, and children who go inside are never seen again with superhero indisposed. It's up to you and your team to find the kids before the Joker. Don't bring kids into my sexual experience.
Yeah, those stay out.
Well, that one's not available yet, but
it's open.
Yeah,
soon.
laws. Well, once New York stops being such a fucking prude.
Kid friendly, apparently, is what this place has.
Oh, I like to have kid friendly and sexual ones friendly.
You're like, this
Sex
one's
friendly.
covered in jizz.
I would ask him, like, hey, can we get that Joker? Want to be a sex one? Just say it's not kids. The City of Ashes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there.
I did one escape room once.
Mm-hmm.
It was too many cooks in the kitchen, and I just kind of hung out in the room, kind of like looking at my phone.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You guys got this right.
Good. I'll just. You're like, I couldn't bring anything new to the table, and if I did, I felt like I just realized I am not a leader.
Yeah.
And it was very depressing to me.
No, those are so sad because then it's like you don't want to say something and everyone goes, dumb idea, Sarah.
Exactly.
You know, I'm like, kick the wall.
I felt like I was ripping shit off the wall thinking it was a clue, and they're like, why are you're destroying our room? Like, it was so upsetting that I was not the one that anyone listened to for.
Like, why'd you rip the poster down? I'm trying to escape.
I thought it was a clue that we're supposed to read the back of the poster, and they're like, no, that's decor.
It's like, look, hey, you can win any escape room with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, yeah, I got this. You just start swinging at
Especially because they're like kind of shoddily put. They're just like drywall.
What you need to do next time you're in an escape room, right?
Yeah.
You grab the person next to you, put a knife to their throat, and you look at the camera and you go, open the door, I'll cut his throat. And then you win and you go, another record time for Sarah. Now you can let me out. You'll win every one.
I love the idea of threatening a life in my escape room.
It's all children playing, and then it's you take your daughter and you're like, I'll kill my kid. Open the door. And they open and go, Jesus, and you go, I guess I win then, huh?
Best time, like, just so excited. All right, what's next?
And it's like, well, come into the Batman one, and you grab another kid.
Yeah.
As long as the same one.
Lady.
This is a sketch, by the way. We
This
gotta
is
mark
in our
this in our
sketch
brain.
show. Write that down.
Put that down. We should
I found the one that they were talking about here.
Oh, hang on one second. I'm gonna get this mic. We should do a sketch show called Two Boys. Greg and Sarah,
Boys.
Two Boys.
Yeah.
The Two Boys sketch show. Okay, Mike, what was that? 7 sinful sins? The 7
It's
sinful
closed.
pleasures.
Escape game.
Yeah, I mean, with COVID, you can't
Number
be
of players, 2 to 6. You can't be 1.
What if they put you in an escape room and they say, look,
it's just one guy masturbating in a
yeah, that would be me. So this is the lonesome sex
Just want
room.
a quiet place to masturbate.
Oh man, what is oh boy, they rip you apart. What are the things in there? You have to escape by doing moves. Do they do the Tetris sexual? What is this?
You probably have to lock them up or like, bind them. I'm sure that it's like just as soon as you make you guys orgasm, then you go to the next room.
The next room is just what a break. Like I can't come again.
Yeah.
I can only do one of these.
Only one escape.
Oh boy. Just like my friend thought I was in trouble. But I'm okay.
You're good. Okay.
Yeah, because my friend's he's a doctor, and so whenever I call, he always answers. He's always afraid like Tita's going into labor or something.
Oh,
so I just have to go, oh, like,
you're like, no,
there
she's
was a
got
butt
3 more
text.
months.
Has anyone ever sent a butt sext? You know what I mean? Like, oh, sorry.
Oh,
I want to fuck your mouth. And someone goes, oh, sorry, butt sext.
no, but bring it up.
I think we got to get more into this. How can we evolve this? I like the sketch.
I like the sketch.
What's the next?
I don't know.
up?
It could just be a quick little one-off.
escape room, and then someone else goes. I feel like then that guy would be okay. We'll figure that out.
Like, this is
Off
people
air.
want to watch the process of sketch writing. No, we should remember that.
We did. I'm gonna write
Okay.
it. I think we're gonna remember it. If I yell it, I'll
I'm
remember.
pretty good at remembering about
Um,
those ideas. I do have to write them down though.
I have to write them down because we have to film them.
You know, I have a sketch idea right now that I'm trying to get to. I need about two 7 to 8 year old boys,
Mhm.
and it feels really weird to post that online. Even when you're like, no funny business, as if
No
people are
funny
like,
business.
Sarah, are you
Funny
gonna
business.
fuck our kids? And I'm like, no,
I have a kid.
it's
Quick
just
question.
a sketch. But I want to. But it's so. How do you get that? And I'm offering $100 to each.
I think the making of this is you put up a sketch. Need 2 7-year-old boys. # no funny business. See who responds. Because you can. No funny business. Yeah. Are you coming to? Hey, are you gonna fuck my kid? But she said no funny business. You
Hashtag.
promised.
# no funny. So she's serious.
Your kid comes back like, Mom, look what happened, and she yells at you. You said no funny business.
I know, but it's like, what parent is doing that though? Like, oh, you can have my 2 kids that you've never met before, and I am offering $100 because it'll
My
be
kid
about 2 hours of work.
I have a nephew who might be able to do it. I
No
just don't know
line
how he listens.
memorization. I just need them to play with some trucks on the floor.
I have a nephew who is 5, and my sister would be down.
It has to be sleepover. Does he have a buddy?
I'm sure he has friends.
Yeah.
But the other one is like, I have 2 nephews. I have another one, but they're like brothers, but he's a baby.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
he hasn't talked
I need
yet.
them to be as if they were at a sleepover together.
Oh,
And then I come in the morning and I deliver a monologue.
don't put in the sleepover part in the ad.
Yes.
Bring
Well,
them in
they don't
sexy
have to sleep
pajamas.
over. It's just
Yeah.
2 hours of work.
It's a sleepover sketch. Again, no sex.
Yeah.
Not trying to do anything weird to these kids. It's a sketch. I'm sure you could do it.
I'm like, how do
Carson, Tony Deo's kid.
I thought about that?
Tony Deo's the nicest guy ever. Carson is like the
The
best kid.
funniest. He's really funny.
Super funny.
Yeah,
I'm sure he has a friend.
I'm sure.
Moody's got a kid. That's
All right,
a girl.
So particularly like 2 kids sleeping over.
Yeah, I think you could get it if you
No
tried.
# no funny business.
Here's what we can do. You can ask them, or you can wait 5 years for my kid.
Okay.
I mean, we do put things off. So this could really in
do.
5 years be like, hey, we could do that sketch
I
now.
wrote this sketch 7 years ago,
Really?
but it was on the stage, and I'm like, I'd want to do it as a video.
Yeah, you should.
It's
That's funny.
actually one of my favorite things I've ever written.
So now, are you going to
Do you ever have that?
Yes.
Do you have stuff that you're like, I really like this? Isn't it weird when you're like, I made this and I really like it? Most times I
do.
make something and I'm like, I don't really like this.
Yeah, I wrote a song called Mr. Go Down. That I'm going to premiere it at the end of this episode if you guys want to check that.
That's how I managed to segue into your world premiere.
Music video for Mr. Go Down.
We were supposed to shoot one.
Yeah, we're going to shoot it.
Okay.
We're going to shoot it. Well, I'm just trying to we're trying to figure.
It's so
I
hard to
want you to
organize
sketch it, yeah.
these things. To be like, hey, I need you for about 8 hours and you're not going to make any money from this.
Someone asked me to read their movie, and I was like, absolutely, we'll get together in a room and read your 1 hour movie. And first of all, it was very beneficial for them, and it was great, and the movie was great. But even with the movie being great that I had to read for them, I had never been more internally furious. That I was like, why did I say yes to this?
Yeah.
It's asking a lot.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I gave notes, and all the notes I think were too much. And
I had a friend who's a filmmaker reached out to me. He was like, will you direct it? Here's my thing. I read over it and I gave him no structural difference, but just things I thought maybe.
Mhm.
I'm like, what world have you ever seen this? Maybe we should play it more realistic.
Mhm.
I have not heard back from him. It's been 4 months.
Is this me? Because I asked you to direct the thing.
No, this was a
And,
film. This was a film, a legitimate
Oh, okay. Like a
full feature
length.
film.
Okay.
It's just where, but you know what? I'm like, that's fine because I probably
don't
wouldn't
wanna
want to do it for free. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Where like that's not like
I'll
a lot
pay
of
you.
work. Yeah,
I'll pay you. I know this
But-
is about me.
isn't it? I don't think people want to get notes.
No, they don't.
I would never. No, I had no notes for yours. I was like, let's make this. It'll be fun. Also, it was a short film.
Yeah. And also, I'm okay with notes.
Yeah.
Because a lot happens when people write their scripts is they write them and then they go, I can't believe I finally got this done. And I'm sure it's perfect.
Yeah.
And then you go, no, it's not the first time you write it. It's the fifth time that you go, like, that's when you know it's good. And as soon as you tell them anything, they get
really upset.
Really. So I had someone do revenge notes on me where
revenge notes?
Yeah.
Spite accountant and revenge notes. Okay, I know where you're like, I feel like this note is a retaliation from a previous note I gave you because it sounds very familiar with what I said.
So
hard disagree.
All right, let me be completely honest. I was the one who gave the revenge notes. Okay. I sent a friend my script, and so I have a thing that if I read a script, I will give you notes, but I will also give you solutions, right? Everyone is, I was like, I'm not just gonna say, here's bad. I'll go, here are other ways you can go. I'm trying to be delicate.
Yes.
I try to be careful. He just writes back.
Yeah.
He just writes back, what are you doing with this? Then what does this character do? Like, who is this guy? What is this about? Like, just, it was like, almost like he was like, why are you even writing this? And and he's a very good friend. Yeah. And I was like, what a fucking dick. Right?
Yeah.
So then I was like, all right, man.
Well, then don't send me this to read without notes, right?
Well, no, he did. All the things he said were, first of all, they were basic 101 shit.
Yeah.
So it was like, what's the character learning?
Yeah.
And I went, you can't see that. I can see what he's learning. I know what is happening here. And I'm fine with notes. I know it sounds like I'm not fine. I am totally fine with notes, but his notes were shitty. So then as soon as I got them back, I went, cool, because we did a script trade. Yeah. Now it's time for me to crack into this thing.
Here we go, and red pen.
I literally wrote, who are any of these people? And then our second one was, why? Why did you write this?
Yeah.
I was so, but it was like, I wasn't that bad, but it was pretty like, ugh.
You're like, all right.
I guess gloves are off, brother.
Here we go. I'm gonna have to fucking give you notes.
Yeah.
No. It's a hard balance. I try to do that. This is what I really liked. Mm-hmm. And then instead of a note, I'm like, I didn't understand this part.
Right.
And maybe there's a way to
something
explain it.
That I think I realized is bad.
It's hard to give notes.
Well, if I like something, I get a million ideas.
Yeah.
And I realized that like that's not necessarily a good thing. Yes. So like someone sent me a script that I loved and I went, dude, what about this? What if they do this? And they wrote back, it was like, what the fuck, man? I gotta change everything. And A, it's like, yeah, well, that's what this is.
Yeah.
And if it could be better, let it be better. But then B, it's like, all right, Greg, maybe you need to like realize with every note, this is but I don't know, man, give me every fucking idea you got.
Yeah.
If you can beat my idea. We want to sell this thing.
Yeah. Or is it like if you have a question? I don't know.
What do you mean?
Meaning like if you're reading something, you're like, I didn't understand why this person needed to do this.
Right.
Would somebody in real life do that?
Right.
Yeah.
One of my friends who I wrote a script for, which I thought was funny, there was they just had one line that was like this guy, he was like, oh, there's a tracker in the thing. And they were like, well, don't give it to Fred, he'll lose it. And that was the line. And then I wrote back, the note was like, hey, it's a tracker. You can't lose it. Yeah. And everyone was like, she started laughing, and I was like, and it was like a good note because it was like, oh, you just didn't realize that's like, yeah, you can't lose a tracker. You would just track it, or there's a joke there.
Yeah. You could,
which is very
make
easy.
it work. Well, like the one he had it where his main character was going to a drug dealer's house, and it was like this flamboyant drug dealing house with crocodiles and big parties, and I'm like, okay. I think we've all bought drugs before. Yeah. And it's never been at an amazing house. It's like the saddest apartment.
Yeah.
And it's depressing, and they never want, and that was my note.
Yeah.
That was my one main. Mad? I've never heard back from them.
Oh. Yeah, it's like.
But it's like, who's bought drugs at a house where it's the most happening house ever? Like they want the least amount of attention.
Yeah.
It's the saddest transaction you'll ever do in your life.
If a cop goes down the street and they're like, which one of these is the drug dealer's house? And there's a golden mosque with a crocodile coming out. You go,
and flames coming out and hot girls.
Maybe this guy.
Yeah.
It's so funny though when you see those big time drug dealer guys.
Yeah, the
they're living
movies. Yeah.
the exact same life as gay men. Like Liberace is like that's the crossover. It's like owns exotic animals and is also it's like drug dealers and Liberace. It's like they're living the same life.
I feel like they'd prefer to be a little understated,
Right?
in real life, not draw too much attention.
That's the thing. I think gay people are like, well, I'm living my life the most possible, and the only other people who can do that are extremely rich movie drug dealers. movie drug dealers. Yeah. Let me get back to my notes because I completely forgot where we were and what we were talking about.
I'm excited. What questions you have?
Oh, this wasn't. I don't know. I wrote some dumb questions, but one of them was. Well, you did. You said you flew on a private plane.
It was called Millionaire by Trade Winds.
That's the name.
I know. I was like, couldn't you guys do Billionaire? Like, doesn't it? Millionaire doesn't seem that cool anymore. It's like the Austin Powers bit. Like $1 million isn't that much.
If you're a private plane company owner and you say millionaire, I feel bad for you.
I know.
Gazillionaire.
Go reach for the stars.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Platinum on lock. Platinum wings. Some shit like that. Millionaire just seems like a poor person's version of what's rich.
Yeah. There was something where I was like, you should have, I don't know. I just felt like there was a mistake there.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, this was the first time I've ever got to, you don't have to do security check. Mm-hmm. I didn't even show ID. Mm-hmm. I go, I'm supposed to go on this plane at a 1:40. My name's Sarah Tollemache. And they were like, great. Here, the pilot puts the bags on himself.
Whoa.
Also, they were in high school. They look like the youngest boys I've ever met in my entire. The pilots.
Oh my god!
It was 2.
Yeah,
and it was just like a single prop plane.
Scary.
I fucking hate flying.
Yeah, me too.
And the idea of being in a because everybody dies. Not that I'm a celebrity. I'm not at that level yet. So I thought that I was going to be okay.
Well, let me tell you this. We could figure out how great you are after you die.
That's true.
So that could be the thing. So
my body of work, here's your YouTube channel.
Don't ever think you won't die in a plane because you're not famous enough, because we can easily make you famous after you die.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. So
that is true.
Yeah.
What is this?
Millionaire. It's guy.
Well, it wasn't like that, but I have to tell you, the waiting area was the nicest.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting. It's just like once.
Why were you on this?
Oh, that they were the sponsor for the Nantucket Comedy Fest. So they flew us out. It's about a $1,400 ticket.
How long?
It's 1 hour.
And did you get like lots of cool things?
No, there's a cooler in the back that you could go and get some chips and Cokes. But
it's a van. Might as well be a van.
Well, there's other private jets where they have like an actual flight attendant. And those are like your Jeff Bezos.
Right.
These are just like rich people that can
Louis
fly to Nantucket. He does.
Did you get on a flight with him there?
Never. Joe did, and he's been on a few of those where they actually do have a private, and it's more private than when I went on, meaning like you go whenever you show up.
That's cool.
This one's like, we're gonna leave at 1:40.
Yeah. You want it or not?
Yeah. So
was
you
there
have
other
to
people
be there.
you don't know?
There was one lady, and you would think that you're like, we all become best friends because we're on a single prop plane and we're all rich together.
Yeah.
Even though she's like, I can tell these people aren't rich.
These are the sponsored people.
These are the sponsor people.
Yeah, the sponsees.
Because you want to be like, I feel like we're going to be lifelong best friends because we're like rich people on Millionaire.
You want to trade $100 bills? You give me one of yours, I give you one of mine. Let's see how they feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I would do.
Yeah. But no, don't want to have anything to do with you whatsoever.
Yeah. Or they were also poor and trying to not let people know. But I don't think that's
it's that
true.
Act like you've been there before.
I've never met a rich person come up to me and be like, hey, what's up, fellow rich guy?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Isn't it cool what we do?
Isn't it fun not having to worry about dinner tonight?
Yeah. We don't have to make our own meal. How amazing. I mean,
I love that you talking to a rich person like that. Like, hey, what's up, rich fellas? Nice having a car, huh?
It does. It's like, I don't want to go back to doing TSA checks.
But yeah.
There's something, it's so annoying how flying like a poor person is so depressing.
The problem with TSA is a few-fold. One is they're never into the small chat. And
Yeah.
I love small chat. You know, I love to get in.
Oh, yeah,
I like, hey, whoa. I have a thing. Anthony and I have this thing about how quickly can I make someone my friend? Where I just like, we're waiting at a red light, and I'm like, God, this thing's taking a long time. How you doing, Greg Stone? Where are you from? Like that.
Yeah.
You know, how quick can I do that? And at TSA, 1, they never want to chat with me. And then 2, you can't prepare. Like, you're waiting in the line. I want to take off my shoes, empty the bag, and then just go. You have to get past the TSA where they check it, and then it's a countdown to getting all of your things, getting half naked.
You're getting rushed.
Getting rushed to some insane point that it's like, well, you're not giving me enough time to be fast, and you're mad enough fast enough.
It's like a double dare. Like, you have 30 seconds before you go on to the next course. Like, you have to capture that red flag.
You have to dig in the man's nose to find the red flag. And then you have 20 seconds, you're out.
And I'm like not even dressed properly by the time I get to the terminal because I'm like freaking out that I haven't moved fast enough in the line. It's so, and then watching somebody before you with a baby carriage, whatever the term is, that you're like, ugh, move.
Dude, when I went in the next flight, I'm like, I pride myself in trying to get it all off, everything out.
Yes.
Boom, get it, boom. The guy goes, you can go right ahead. I go, kick my shoes off, catch them in the ground, throw them in the thing, jackets. As my jacket's coming
like
off.
Velcro bodysuit.
As my jacket's coming off, my contact lens solution is coming out of my bag with my mouth. Just like getting it all out. Boom, boom, got it all there. 10 seconds flat. TSA agent looks at me and goes, you can leave your hat on. And I went, motherfucker. And then he'd put my hat back on. Like, that was just his way of being like, still not good enough. I took my hat off.
I know. And then you want to be like, can you guys all get on the same page from city to city?
No, they won't.
Everyone's different.
Mm-hmm.
New York's the cool city. They let you do whatever you want. You almost don't even have to take your shoes off. But like when I go to Houston, I'm like this, no one's bombing you.
Right.
You're not like, this is not a high risk. No one gives a shit if one of our towers goes down here.
Then New York has a slogan.
Yeah.
They go, 9/11 already happened, and lightning rarely strikes the same place twice. So do whatever you want, boys.
belief system too.
We're pretty sure we're not having a 9/11. That'd be really
what
crazy.
are the odds?
So go right on through, pal.
Yeah.
Carrie, you could come in a metal helmet. We don't care.
I love that. I do legitimately think lightning does not strike twice. So do whatever you want.
So we're pretty sure. Hey, we already got ours. So you know what I mean?
So yeah.
It's like when the guy is like when it's like, hey, we already ate, you know? So we're not really, eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
So to your thing is, Tita and I went on this vacation that was kind of like a baby moon, right? So we were like, we're doing it.
Sweet.
We did the whole thing, right? We had fun. And we got
the one that you just did, right?
Yeah.
It looked epic.
It was so it was like, this is gonna sound real lame. There's a lot of love involved.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
That's really sweet.
Like
it's like the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Because you're about to have a baby and it's going to be a lot.
It's going to be a lot.
You guys are going to be ripped apart.
Torn at the seams of our souls. And any time right now is like a fun time right now in relationships that like, it's very weird that anytime Tita and I argue now, we go, if we can't handle ordering dinner, how are we going to handle a child? And you just see us break any kind of argument. It's like, if we're not doing this good now, we're not going to make it with this baby.
Yeah.
And your soul hurts. But the vacation was great. We had a lot of fun. We did a lot of like just spending time with each other and being like, let's just talk, let's just take this slow and connect. But we decided I had a bunch of canceled flights because of COVID.
Yeah.
So we took all those points and we flew back home first class.
Nice. Oh,
well,
lovely.
Let me tell you this. We flew out there on JetBlue, and JetBlue is my first time on JetBlue. They're great.
I always love JetBlue, but some people
wrong.
It's always weird that you have your favorite air. Nobody has we can't all agree what our favorite airline is.
JetBlue is
mine's Delta.
I'm a Delta.
But some people are like, I will never fly Delta. I had the worst experience.
Because they think turbulence has something to do with it.
Yeah.
So it's like, shut up. JetBlue gives you the most. They give you the most leg room. And for me, JetBlue's leg room was amazing. JetBlue was great. We flew Delta, and Delta is where I got my points. So I'm a Delta guy.
Yeah.
So we flew first class Delta back. But so the lady asked me, she's like, hey, if you go an hour later on, if you want to wait an hour to go on the next flight back, you and your wife can sit next to each other, which we thought we were already sitting next to each other because we were in first class and we did this thing. And I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll do that. So they switched our planes. And I think because we switched our planes, We got a smaller plane, and the first class wasn't like first class.
You got fucked.
We got fucked. So we just had more leg room, and it was like first class from like 1993. And I was like, what the fuck is this? It was like there was all the TVs were small, everything was weird. I wanted
you
one of
just
those
get
lay
cup
down.
holders.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
Yeah. They gave me. All right, I had free drinks, which is great.
Fine.
All right, but it was like 9 a.m. So what the hell? And I'm zapped up on Xanax.
Yeah.
So we didn't really get I felt like it wasn't really great.
We got
kind of gypped, and I like Delta, but I think JetBlue is like they were also nicer there.
They have JetBlue just where the time that I remember, they were so nice that I was like, I would invest money in shares.
Yeah.
With JetBlue.
They just don't fly it everywhere.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I don't know why. I don't understand all these
because they're losing money being nice.
Yeah.
Every time you compliment someone on a plane, the FDA charges you $10 or the flight people.
Well, I just saw, I think on one of their JetBlue, they had a male flight attendant who, non-gender specific fluid that wanted to wear a female flight attendant. And nowadays that we have to, that's the new norm now.
Yes.
And I'm like, I love it. I love this direction.
I love it.
I'm like, as long as you show up, do your job, and you're nice to the customers, you can wear whatever the fuck you want.
Let me tell you this.
You can be a hot dog person.
I'm totally fine with, you don't want to conform to a gender? Great. But I then think I want to start letting people non-conform to other things. I'm non-personality conformant, right? I want to dress like a black guy. Yeah. I'm not saying a color. I want to be hip hop one day, but I'm fluid. And then the next minute, I'm going to be preppy. You know? I'm like, what up, motherfucker? Y'all want to get some tacos? I'm non-personality fluid.
You're all over the place.
I want to have lots of things. I want to come on a plane like Captain America. You know, like I want to let me do, I think the closer we get to, we just letting everybody do whatever they want.
Yeah, it's kind of, in that same line of like, where you could anything. What is that animal that makes you feel better?
Yeah, kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
I love kangaroos.
The animal that helps them.
Dog.
No, everyone has their dog that helps them feel better, but now they have. I feel like we're on a game show, and everyone's like, "What are they talking about?"
Yes, no, I think you're saying a
service animal.
What is it?
Private animal.
Service animal.
Yes.
Hey, Mike, I think my microphone goes go out. Oh no, service animal. Yes, everyone has service animal.
Well, it used to be like a dog, but now everyone's like, I actually have a service rabbit, and now we had to. It got so wild that everyone's like was bringing like big. I think my mic is cutting out. Everyone's bringing.
Oh boy, I did something.
Well, this wasn't a great.
Oh, we're good.
Oh
no,
but it got like to like I have a service horse. Like it started getting really wild, and that I think people had to be like, it has to be a dog.
Yeah,
and it has to be like the 3 kinds that we are letting. I
want to do a service real doll, which is just a full-on sex doll that I bring with me, and it makes me feel better.
It does.
It just makes me, I look at him and I talk to him, like a mannequin or a service anything, really.
Yeah, there is an art. Somebody brought a service clown to work. It's just a guy that is in a clown suit. You're like, I have to have him. He helps me with my PTSD.
But that would work for real.
Yeah.
Service clown. It's like, he sees you stealing. He starts juggling. You start feeling better.
Yeah.
There's a service clown. This is another sketch for the Two Boys sketch show.
Put it up there. Mike, put it on the whiteboard.
Put it on the whiteboard, Mike. Service clown.
Service clown.
Service clown. I love service clown.
Yeah.
But then who services the clown when the clown is truly sad?
I don't know. That's the poem.
That's where we figure out. That's where we go to the next level.
That's the meaning of life. Yes.
Right.
Who services the service clown?
Yeah.
We'll never know.
I do think that
just went into a deep thought.
Yeah, because I thought about like how sad it's always because you can't see them crying under their makeup.
No, a lot of people get weirded out, like find clowns creepy. I don't have a strong feeling to them, but they definitely don't bring me joy.
No, because it's not funny anymore.
No,
they're doing very old jokes.
One time I saw a clown on the subway on the train, looking at their schedule, and I thought that was one of the saddest visuals I've ever seen. Of like, it's like when as a comic, sometimes we don't have a green room like at Funny Bone in St. Louis, and you have to sit in the back, so everyone gets to see you kind of sad zone out by yourself, and you're like, I don't think people should see this side of the sausage.
Yeah, clowns shouldn't have podcasts.
No.
The guy across the street from me growing up was a guy who didn't speak a lot of English, but he was a magician.
Mhm.
And so he did like Spanish parties,
Okay.
whatever. And I loved this guy. And
Yeah.
he would always do magic. And I used to try to do this as a bit, but it's just the reality of it is just funny. Is he'd always try to work new tricks on me. Like he'd be like, Greg, what are you doing? Come on over. Right. And I'd go,
Yeah.
I just got this new book. You into reading? And then he'd pull it down, like 5 birds would come out. And I'm like, oh, and he'd be like, pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Right. And
That was pretty good.
it was pretty good. But then one day I remember I saw him getting into his van dressed as a clown, and I remember seeing him like look down a little, like, nah. Sometimes I want a clown, Greg. I don't do this all the time. Like he felt like I was judging him because he was like, I am a magician, but sometimes I have to be a clown, and I need to pay the bills. I have a family.
Because clowns make more money.
Yeah.
It's so, it is. Like sometimes that happens with comedy. Like when we do these events, I think part of it, they want us to mingle with the people that paid for us to get on the island. And
Yeah.
they mean well, but sometimes they say the meanest shit to you.
Yep.
And they treat you like absolute garbage, like you're a little monkey.
Can I tell you what happened to me yesterday?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
At my sister's christening barbecue. He's a really funny, nice guy, but I think that he doesn't realize every time he says something, it's like, oh, come on,
Soul
man.
crushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes, oh man, still remember in that comedy show I saw you at? I was dying. No one else was laughing. I don't know why. They didn't seem to like you, but I loved you. I don't care what those people thought. And I kept being like,
That's a classic.
stop it.
Well, we liked you. We loved you. We don't know what was going on with everybody else.
Also, the show went, for the record, the show went well.
Yeah.
Like I was like, dude, they were all laughing. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But sometimes you do one riff on the room. You go, what are you guys not having a good time? And they go, I guess they're not. He's right. They're having a time. I'm like, nah, dude, they were laughing. It was a built-in joke. And then he does this. And I think he's just trying to make me, this is just, I don't know. There's no setup for this. He just goes, crosswinds. And I went, what? And he went, crosswinds. That's a bit there. And I went, the word? And he went, do something funny with it. And I looked at Tita and she just starts dying. And I'm like, crosswinds is the bit?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what I don't like, I want to be like, are you hot? Like, I don't know how to react to that.
Yeah.
You got to give me more than just crosswinds.
It's kind of like when somebody kind of sends you an emoji and you're like, I don't know how to respond to this emoji.
Another emoji.
Yeah.
And then they go, I don't know how to respond to this
So
other
you
emoji.
should have thrown out another word.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Yeah. We've gotten the
Winds
like
of change.
they
Then
find
leave.
out Joe and I are a couple
Mhm.
and they're like, who's funnier? Come on, somebody's got to be funnier. And they won't relent until it becomes like a thing. And then Joe and I just have like, we're
Can I
just
write
trying to
you?
eat our meat.
I want to write you a reaction.
Yeah.
This is what you do every time. Every time they do it, you both have to look at each other at the same time and go, she is. No, you are. No, I am. And do that until they leave. No, you go. No, use that. No, you go.
It was so and he had that feeling of like it was just aggressive.
Yes.
It was too much and he wouldn't leave and eventually like we just made it so awkward that he when you kind of Homer Simpson into the bushes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what he did.
I like to the best way to go with those, in my opinion, but it's a lot of commitment, is to just go so into them that they have to back out,
Okay, yeah.
So I mean, it's like if, so like you get up and go, who's funny? Or we, and you get in their face, like, can we follow you? We're going to go to your house now. Like usually when I get an awkward guy, but then if they get aggressive, it's like, now it's a fist. This is the thing that like women have a lot of things you have to worry about.
Yeah.
But what we don't talk about with men is that every interaction, there's a part of you that goes, is this going to end in a fist fight?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
you guys have it rough too.
no, I mean, yeah,
Out of
everyone has,
expectation. Yeah.
you could get raped, but
Yeah.
we're 90% of the time, I'm like, this could end in a fist fight.
Yeah, I've heard this a lot when you're hang out in a group and say like there's a girl that's kind of like, I'm going to say something, and you're like, please don't,
Yeah.
because you're not the one that's going to deal with the fist fight.
Now I got to fight that guy, and I don't know her well enough to fight her. Did I tell you this time?
Yeah.
Sorry, just quick pivot. Doing the show, I was at the cellar when it started opening up again, and this lady goes, I open this story. I do this story where I go, I used to be fat. I used to be good looking.
Yeah.
I am fat. I go, I used to be good looking. I go gain weight and now I'm not good looking anymore. I said, I used to be good looking. And the lady goes, yeah, right. And I went, what?
You fucking bitch. You fucking.
And I went, what?
Yeah.
And then she was like, said something. And then I went, shut up. What the fuck is wrong with you? And
yeah.
then she called me who are those people that are like, oh, she called me a fascist. And I went, why am I a fascist? She goes, yes. And I went, why am I a fascist? She goes, because you won't let me talk. And I went,
you don't have a microphone.
You can talk. And she goes, I don't have a microphone. I said, here's a microphone right here. Come up and let's do this. She went, no, and blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, look at your friends. They're embarrassed of you right now.
Like
Her friends were looking away like, no. And I'm like,
yeah, tell me more.
And then I just went, and then I just like, it kind of like whatever. And I went, get fat. And she went, huh? And I was like, get fat and see how many people like you. No one would like you if you weren't hot. You are pretty and everything has been given to you because you're pretty. There are pretty people. And I always do that. I go,
I like
there
this
are
monologue.
pretty people
who
have personalities that are fun and are great.
Yeah.
But you are not one of them. You have one thing. And guess what? Every day it slowly scratches away. And then I just see her go like, oh my God. And then Liz.
I have to do something about this.
And then I just see Liz, the manager of the seller, pretty much just put her in a chokehold and drag her out. And then her friend is still there. And I went, you're not going to go? And she went, I don't like her. And I was like, woo! Like her friend was like,
you won.
Her friend was like, nah, man, fuck that. What she said was really mean. And I paid for my ticket. I'm staying. And I was like, then we're cool. And she was great. And that was
the end of that friendship.
Dragged out of the fucking club by the neck by a little Italian woman.
Oh my God. I love a monologue delivered. Like, it's going to leave you every day, little by little, and you'll have to think about it. Yeah.
You are uglier now than when we started talking. When we started talking, you were more in your prime.
Yeah.
You were less in your prime. Seconds later.
Yeah.
You were, tiny pieces have scratched away, but you are less in your prime now.
Yeah, there is something. I had that realization the other day. There was an attractive woman, and I was like, oh, that sucks. Because when you get super attractive, then you're used to things like a privilege, and you're used to things. I was like, it must be really hard when your attractiveness leaves you.
Yeah.
And we're fine. We'll be okay.
Yeah. But I mean, like, this is.
But it's like weird. It must be really rough.
Yeah, because you thought the world was away.
This was my monetary value. Like, this is how I got things.
And they sit there and they not saying, I don't know how they live. And we're talking about these people. But like, I would
I don't know.
I'm just guessing, but
You're like, they'll be fine.
You get mad that every time some of them get mad when like people try to hit on them. I'd imagine that's whatever.
Yeah.
You're taking it for granted. But then when you're 70 and you have no personality and you just wish for the days when it was easy.
Yeah.
It's like you're born rich and then slowly people take all your money from you.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, you're begging for change. Like I used to fly private.
I know. Nobody cares.
My tits used to fly. You know, it's like, yeah.
It's
You know what I mean? It's like, my tits, please.
I used to go on vacation all the time without paying for one. I know. I was, because knowing how much that plane ticket, I was like, I bet you there's like really, you know, when you see a really attractive woman, you're like, they never have to pay for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you know it when you see it.
Yes,
you know that their assholes are like pink.
Yes.
And hairless. And they just look so well put together.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, you never have to pay for anything.
This is what sucks about diversity.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what sucks about diversity. The Asian world, right? Which is amazing.
Yeah.
You get some of the hottest women, right? But because they're not white, they don't feel they've been, not because this came out bad. Let me just try to fix this.
Like,
let me rewind.
But
this.
I'm here for the journey.
Yeah. So white is the majority, right?
Yeah.
So when you're a minority or you're not, whatever, you start to have a little bit of identity crises, a little bit of like, oh, like, what am I? Am I this? Am I that?
Yeah,
I have to like journey through some of this with
maneuvering. It's hard.
which is hard.
Yeah.
But which also for the fat white guy takes them down to, they don't realize the value they have in attractiveness, which makes them have personality. I'm like speaking specifically to my wife, by the way. I shouldn't say all Asian people, but because she grew up in a very rich white neighborhood,
Yeah.
they look down upon her from her race. And so because of racism, per my attractiveness dollar, I was able to get way more than my value. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's like I remember that there's that movie Moneyball, and one of the opening scenes when they're trying to get player
Yeah.
and one of the managers on the team goes, they were like, "How about blah blah blah?" And they're like, "No, he has an unattractive wife. It means he has low self-esteem." Oh my god! And I've
Wow.
seen that where you're like, something happened here.
Right.
Yes, because you're like,
Something.
well, it's like when you're traveling and you go to like, let's say like a Dairy Queen or a fast food restaurant in some shitty, small, tiny town with no economy. And there's all of a sudden this really attractive person. And you're like this, I always want to be like this. You need to get out of this town.
Rod, you fool.
You have no idea what your potential is. Get to a big city as soon as possible and your life will improve by so much.
You ever talk to like a bunch of hot girls or guys, and then one of them is just really cool, and then you're like, get out of this friendships.
Yes.
You don't need to be here with these people. You're
You're
better.
different.
You're different. You're
yeah,
something.
yeah.
You have looks, which is great.
Yeah.
But you're more.
Yes.
Go get away from these schlubs.
Yes.
These
You
are-
have so much to offer. What about this one? Have you ever seen it happens with guys more than girls, but a really attractive guy, they're so attractive that you start laughing.
Yes. Yes. I hate to mention.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is fucking ridiculous what's happening here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I meet those guys, and then sometimes 1 in every 10, they're also funny.
Yeah.
What I like to do is
Fuck them.
find something they love, run to it, and destroy it. You know, it's like, oh, you have a kid? Cool. I'm going to show up at school and hit him in an egg in the face. You need some kind of trauma because it's not fair. that
Yeah.
Life is not.
Oh, attractive people
Fair.
in comedy. I'm like this. Get out of here.
You gotta go.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not for you.
Right. Seton Smith, go home. You're too good looking, Seton. And I love Seton,
I know.
but you got to go, man. I look at you and I get mad,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, yeah. It's
I
not.
know.
You're like, this was for us. And
I
you
know.
came in here and you ruined it.
Yeah.
You fucking ruined the party with your good looks.
There is an attractive comedian.
I am
Female.
joking. We're all joking by this. But seriously, there's truth in this, right?
Absolute. Well,
Yeah.
Look,
You're not joking. Seton,
I'm
get out
not
of
joking.
here.
I'm not joking. Seton, leave. No, but like, there is a comedian who's a very attractive comedian,
Mm-hmm.
and she's doing very well. I will say this: she is a little bit of a fucking psychopath,
Okay.
which is fine, but also has no ass. So anytime someone
Even
goes, "She's
though-
so hot," I go, "No ass,"
No ass.
and
Well,
but I have to take something from them.
It's our white lady burden. Do you ever notice that white women do not have asses?
Well,
Anytime you're like, I hate white women, you're like, yeah, but they don't have any asses.
yeah.
Unless they do gymnastics.
So this is the problem here.
A lot
now.
of flat asses in Nantucket.
I don't want to. I don't want to rain on your parade.
Mm-hmm.
But the new breed of women have evolved, I think, because of Instagram.
Yeah.
Like everyone's bodies are crazy now.
Yes.
And the technology, it's making me, I'm 40 and I'm like, you need to put this 18-year-old girl in prison because I don't want to look at this. It's crazy. It used to be reserved for only like gymnasts and porn.
Yeah,
But now it's like, what, you're coming in at a high school like this?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't that way. And when we were in school, hey, you were fat, you had big tits, great.
Yeah.
Someone had maybe large, but they figured, I don't know if it's CrossFit or
Yeah.
something ruined. We can't be walking around this horny all the time.
Yeah, I remember Sean O'Connor had a bit that I really liked about when you're a restaurant manager that has an amazing body, like is lifting and is just like ripped, and you're like, why?
Yeah.
You're a restaurant manager. Like, what's the purpose of being
Power.
jacked up as an Applebee's
Power.
floor manager?
When
It's for the male gaze. Do you know that when I suspect, from what I gather, when men are getting ripped like that, it's not for women, because a lot of ladies don't really give a shit about having an amazing body. It's for the male gaze.
this is very possible.
Yeah.
I have never looked into this or thought of this. I do think twofold to that. One, they want they're gay for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like they look at Superman and He-Man and these guys, and they go, I want to fuck that, but not on another person, on myself.
Yeah.
Like I think they jerk off to them how hot they're, how
I can
ripped
see
they're
that,
getting.
yeah.
I can't explain gay for themselves. It's really this weird thing. And then also like they like some of them are just psychopaths who have to be doing something every single day. And it's
Oh yeah, I get that one with like if you quit doing drugs and alcohol, all of a sudden those people become maniac sports fitness people.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. And I've said this in the podcast before. This is a weird thing. And we have to. We'll land the plane when the plane lands.
We'll land the millionaire plane.
I said this before, but I remember so I found this out this weekend, right?
Okay.
It's something I believed, but today I found more evidence to it.
Okay.
Within the Coraluzzo blood or Stone blood, who I am, is a raging sex freaks, right? We have I'm always horny. I'm always like, there's like a crazy sex drive and it's a constant fight. My brother growing up, I remember like cheated on a bunch of girlfriends. I never cheated. I wasn't a cheater, but there is this constant battle of like, don't cheat. I found out yesterday that my granddad went to World War II, maybe knocked some girl up in England.
That happens a lot. Happened a lot.
I'll argue this too. My grandma found out. How did you find out pre-internet? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You couldn't keep that quiet, Grandpa? Dude, mail.
Letters.
You couldn't check the mail?
Yeah.
If you ever see a weird letter, you just toss that thing.
Yeah.
I have a kid in another country. I check the mail every day for the rest of my life. That's just part of it.
Why are you getting up at 5 a.m.?
I love the mail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I know that about myself, that I'm like always like, because I love my wife, but everyone who walks by, I'm like, and I have to like curb it, which is fine.
Yeah.
What that mean was, so I do believe that my first initial stint of gaining weight really was a thing for me because I didn't want to be hot on stage.
Yeah.
Because it just makes it that much easier to cheat.
Because guys have it. I mean, even guy comics that are loyal still probably have to deal with like their wives and girlfriends DMs. Because
wives and girlfriends DMs.
Meaning, I mean, the wives or the girlfriends have to worry about the guy comics DMs.
Right.
Even if they're not cheating. People, if you are like funny and successful enough, people don't give a shit if you're married or taken. You're just going to get DMs.
Well, I don't get a lot, which makes me feel really good about myself. I think the mustache helps. I think the weight helps. Also, I open with I'm married.
Yeah.
I just throw all of it out there just to be like, you got to be real some kind of psychopath.
Yeah.
If you're coming after me now, after all of the things I pushed.
But it happens.
Sometimes, yes, it does still happen because, when you're on stage, you're essentially, it's a slave sale, right? Yes. Where I'm on stage being like, this is me selling myself. You're seeing the absolute best of me.
Well, guys, you guys got for guy comics, from what I gather, you're like, should I stand outside after my show? Because that's tends how you're going to get girls talking to you. Female comics don't get that.
What do you mean?
Meaning none of us are like, I'm going to go stand outside after I did my show at the Cellar and hope that some dude will talk to me.
Dudes don't talk to you?
No.
I would imagine
girl comics don't get the kind of fan that you do. Guy comics get.
I thought that every day you're constantly deleting people being like, hey, can I be with you? Can I be on you?
No.
I don't get a lot.
If you do, it's like weirdo. It's not like the hot.
I think just you and me are not getting any messages. I think that's what we figured out.
Here's the thing. All female comics for a while have jokes about getting dick pics. And I'm like this. Never got one.
Really?
Never got a dick pic.
I've gotten
a dick pic.
Let me tell you, not even that. Yes, that's the base. I told people on the podcast in the beginning, I started Snapchat, immediately got 50 dicks, and then got a few buttholes, and then one butthole that the poop came out. That it was someone's video and his butthole opened and poop came out. And I went, what is, and it's
what Pandora box did you open?
I know what it was because I'm constantly a sexual man saying things like, yeah, I will. Because I always pushing this thing of I don't believe in sexual orientation.
Yes,
I believe that I
gender fluid is what I'm gathering.
Not gender fluid. I don't believe in
You're
putting
pansexual.
yourself. I don't believe in categories. I
Okay.
believe that if there's a guy who I ever find attractive, I will do it. And if Tita and I get a divorce, I'm going to jerk a guy off just to know what it tastes like.
Yeah.
I want to look at sexuality the way I look at like international food. You know, I want to go to Thailand and try some dead weird fish thing.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, sure,
I
it might be
get it.
gross.
Yeah.
But I want to know what it is.
Yeah. You
right?
You have a list of things that you want to check off.
Yes, I
Yes.
want to just. I don't want to. You know, I was straight edge, and I didn't drink till I was 30. Then when I drank, I was like, hey man, this is not bad,
Yeah.
and I hated it.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever do that. So once I start talking about that, I got a message the other day, and some good messaged me, and they went, "I'll be the guy. Jerk me off. I'll take it." And first of all, I'll say this to you, and you did not send a picture of who you are, so I didn't respond because I'm not going to respond to a random no picture.
Yeah.
B, yeah, I mean, like, I have standards. I'm not going to just jerk off any blank face to a married, so I'm not going to jerk you off anyway.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice to see what I was offered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just some random
What's
dick into the gas.
connected to the penis?
Right.
Yeah, because it could just be a torso
Well, I think it
with
was
the penis.
Anthony, but he didn't want to put his face so that we have like a real, if you like, pina colada situation
Yeah.
where I go, we'll show up to the restaurant on the Red Rose, and I go, it was you? Because it was
It
you?
was me all along.
Yeah.
You've got mail.
That's the 2021 version. You got mail.
Yeah.
It's a fake. Yeah. But that'll do it. Are you good? You have any more on
Oh,
that?
I think that was good. Great.
Yeah.
I think we landed that private jet pretty nicely.
I think so too.
Yeah.
NoMillionaires.com. I could just do this for 3 hours. You're the best. You want to come back
Easily.
next
This
week?
is always fun. Definitely.
Okay.
Mondays.
Mondays at 3,
Mondays at 3.
but it's 12.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I said 3. Anyway,
Fine.
hey, if you're having a good time, keep having a good time for more money with the, with the Patreon. Join the Patreon. We've got lots of great new content coming up. I got a bunch of things going up that are going to be fun this month. There's a $5, $10, $15 tier, and all of that money goes directly to keeping me in this game. So if you'd like that, come do that, and that'd be really nice. Also, follow Sarah. Oh, follow Sarah. I should have
Follow
told you
me at Tollemache. It's the same on every social media platform. I
that.
try
Yeah,
to be consistent.
that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Or
great.
like and subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Oh, she's got the best YouTube videos for real.
Yeah.
And we're working on a bunch of stuff too. So if you like
You
me,
had
we do
some.
stuff together.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have some stuff. We're gonna have some more stuff together. And first off, follow Mike, Mike Suarez, our great producer. Big thanks to him.
At
He's
Mike
a
V.
wonderful-
Suarez.
At Mike V. Suarez.
Mike Suarez is some other guy. I don't know what he does.
I know. Every time I try to email you, some guy responds, "Stop calling me," and I go, "It's not even a call; it's an email." You
That
weirdo.
guy gets my emails all the time, and he never forwards them to me. Yes, no one emails him. He's a loser.
Yeah, I hate that guy. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. So we'll see you all later. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you had a good time. Show the love, share the love, give the love, have love. Peace out. That's good.
Pick up your head, pick up your body. Get on the bus, it's time to party. It's Gregory. It is a Saturday night, Gregory. Take your socks off and take your pants on. Get in the car and drive on Friday night, Gregory. It is a Saturday night, Gregory. Born in the darkness, my man was too high. He created the show, so that is why that you have Gregory. Oh,